Our trip to Mexico City was incredible. This place is really not what I expected. Our trip was in January of 2022, which definitely presented some unique challenges, but it was more than worth it to be able to see this amazing place. And did I mention that they have tacos?
We're rolling. But we weren't rolling before?
No, we weren't rolling before.
I gave you so much gold.
I'm sorry we missed all of your gold. We lucked out and found some really cheap flights on Aeromexico. In first class, nonetheless. I'm worried I might never get Justin back in another coach seat ever again. The comfortable seat was definitely appreciated during our 5-hour flight. Even if the food was nothing special, it was still nice to have a meal. It was definitely better than the usual bag of peanuts they serve in coach. Unlike some other countries we visited recently, there was no COVID test required and no need to show proof of vaccine. Just your standard immigration paperwork, which Justin filled out for us. Upon landing in Mexico City, we headed over to our hotel.
Is this what we got upgraded to?
Uh-huh.
Good grade.
We've been keeping a running spreadsheet of all the cities we're planning to visit in the next few months and tracking point redemptions at various hotels. We happened to find an excellent redemption at the St. Regis for only 44,000 points per night. And on top of that, we were able to use a Suite Night Award, or S&A request, to get upgraded to a luxury suite. This room was advertised at $979 per night, and instead we paid $0. Cheers the bubbles.
Salute.
Salute. When we first arrive in a new place, we usually just kind of wander. One of our first finds was La Estela de Luz, a massive monument commemorating Mexico's independence. A few blocks down the road is El Bosque de Chapultepec, which is basically Mexico City's Central Park. Our entry point to this sprawling forest was El Altar a la Patria. From there, we made our way through the park over to Chapultepec Castle, which is currently closed to the public. This is unfortunately as close as we were able to get to the castle. Next up on the agenda, Justin stopped off to take a few selfies. And then we learned there was a free zoo nearby, which is also located in Chapultepec.
Here's a big one.
Oh! The zoo was an absolute blast. It had a really unique feel, more like you were walking through a nature preserve rather than just kinda going from exhibit to exhibit. Mask wearing was strictly enforced and all of the indoor exhibits were closed, but we still got to see a lot of cool animals outdoors. The real star of the show, though, was this guy. We found a cat. Hello, cat. After the zoo, we headed over to the Anthropological Museum, which we were really excited to see. And it was closed due to COVID. But then we heard music coming from nearby and decided to investigate. What we found was an amazing acrobatic performance. These 4 men were suspended by their feet from the spinning carousel while a man atop the tower played a drum. The men slowly descended to the ground and then promptly started taking up donations. The sound of more drums nearby drew us to another performance. I didn't really get very good video of this one, unfortunately, but these guys did some amazing stunts, including fire eating. Again, donations were strongly encouraged. For dinner, we headed over to Sonora Prime for a fantastic steak dinner. It was a bit pricey for Mexico City, to be honest, but still highly recommended. After that, we ventured to a place called El A Número 20? I don't know. It had a weird name, but they had fun, fruity cocktails, which I rather enjoyed. The next morning, we headed to the historic district for brunch and more aimless wandering. What are you feeling?
Wandering sounds good to me.
The heart of the historic district is a central plaza called El Zócalo. At its northern end is the massive Metropolitan Cathedral. The streets near the Zócalo are extremely charming and well worth exploring. We walked over to the Palacio de Bellas Artes, or Palace of Fine Arts. It's a beautiful building, but inside it's mostly just, modern art. Not really my thing. A few doors down is the Museo Franz Meyer. This houses a collection of all sorts of artifacts that were amassed by this wealthy German guy named Franz Meyer. It's got artwork, books, furniture, textiles, ceramics, all sorts of stuff. It was really pretty fascinating to look around. You never knew what you were going to stumble upon next. We then wandered through nearby Chinatown, which looked great and smelled even better. I still regret not stopping in for dim sum. But we were on a schedule. We needed to get to the Mirador Torre for sunset. Torre Latinoamericana, as it's properly called, is a 545-foot skyscraper, which is one of the tallest in Mexico City. It's not quite as tall as the Willys Tower, though. Upstairs, there's an okay bar, but you don't really come here for the drinks. You come for the view. We ended the night with some live jazz at a little club in Roma Norte, and in the morning we headed to Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan is the nearly unpronounceable name of an ancient Mesoamerican city. It is an absolutely massive archaeological site that we spent all day exploring. It boasts 2 enormous pyramids, the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon. Adjacent to the pyramids is a vast expanse of ruins, the skeleton of a once vibrant ancient metropolis. Oh my. They closed the museum, Boo.
That's okay.
Is that okay?
Well, it's not ideal, but it's okay.
Okay.
There's more shit to see over here.
Oh, is there more to see?
I saw a map.
Take us to go see the. You found another thing.
I did find another thing.
Well done.
This is actually really cool. It's a shame no one's going over here.
Yeah.
This is huge.
Thank you for calling Aeromexico.
If you received a notification about a change to your itinerary, press 1.
Well, Aeromexico canceled our flight. But this was kind of a blessing in disguise. I happened to have a free night certificate that I was able to redeem at the JW Marriott in Polanco, which we wanted to visit anyway.
They're gonna make us leave the St. Regis, boo.
We gotta go to the JW.
How will we ever survive at the JW Marriott?
Well, probably room service and the included restaurant and all the walkable stuff nearby.
Oh my. Well, this is nice.
Super fresh.
After getting checked into our room, we had a small bit of business to take care of to be able to return to the US. We had purchased some Binax Now COVID tests that we brought with us to Mexico. This is a proctored test that involves doing the swab on a webcam while a proctor supervises. It was awkward, but all in all, not really that bad. It's certainly better than the brain scraping I got in Iceland.
All right, now we wait.
The results came back negative, and I heard a rumor about free tacos, so I went off to explore.
Welcome. Yeah, I've got a nice little menu of complimentary stuff here.
Is there a menu or is it on a QR code?
It's on this QR code. Oh wow, the tacos are really good. Tacos are actually really good.
We spent the rest of the day exploring Polanco. It's upscale, trendy. It had some cool buildings and some charming parks. And, crickets. Like as food. Like as bar snacks.
You ready to chow down on some cricket?
Uh-huh. I like this one in particular. He's got all sorts of legs and stuff.
Kind of weird. As luck would have it, our last day in Mexico City wound up being one of the most magical days of the entire trip. On a friend's recommendation, we ventured out to Coyoacan, a historic area with old-world architecture and romantic winding streets. Some damn good tacos, too. But then it was time to say goodbye to Mexico City. Hasta la próxima. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or are planning a trip to Mexico City, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.